There is no secret. There's nothing that someone's not telling you that's going to get you to where you want to be.
You ready?
You need to do everything that you can do every single day to get where you want to be, no matter what.
Come on. Good. Come on.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Brandon and I make fitness content and just kind of document my journey with competing and working out and vlogging and whatnot. So if that sounds interesting to you, consider subscribing. We actually just hit 100 subscribers, which I'm super excited about, kind of like a mini milestone for me. So consider subscribing if that sounds interesting to you. But without further ado, let's get into the rest of the video. So right now, guys, I'm actually doing my 75 hard workout. If you guys don't know what 75 hard is, it's a fitness / mental challenge. It's 75 days long. You have to do 5 critical tasks every single day, exactly the way you're supposed to do it, or else you have to start over. I have a detailed video about me attempting to do it the first couple times. If you guys are interested in seeing that, I'll link it somewhere. But right now I'm on day 50 and I'm doing my outdoor workout. One of the requirements is that you have to do a workout that's outdoors. So they don't really specify what you have to do for your workouts, but right now I'm just doing a walk while I'm talking to you guys. All right, guys, so now on to what I actually wanted to talk about in this video. I'm actually going to be competing in a physique show. I finally committed and registered for the show. It is in October. It is the Summer Shredding Classic show. So if you guys have competed in the past, you know that there's a ton of moving parts that come into play when you're preparing for a show. There's the coach, there's the prep, there's the dieting, the training, a lot of different things. And I wanted to take you guys along for that ride and kind of show you everything that I'm going through, and hopefully you find entertainment or value in that if you plan on competing in the future. Regardless of how much experience you have with nutrition and exercise, it's good to have a separate pair of eyes to kind of watch you and dial in as you're going through prep yourself. So I'm going to have a coach again for that in terms of nutrition and training, and I'm also going to look at hiring a posing coach. I'm starting to realize how important posing really comes into play with shows. I have a friend who is a very successful competitor in the physique space and bodybuilding space. I'm going to probably look at hiring him at least for a couple sessions just to kind of dial everything in. I don't feel really comfortable with posing. I'm kind of new to the whole posing routine as a whole. I don't have that much experience with it, so that's definitely something I'm looking to develop as I move forward. Still in a bulking phase, still trying to gain as much muscle as I can while kind of minimizing fat gain. And then I'm gonna slowly eventually progress into my cut. Keep you guys updated on all those details. Let you know my coach too, he's an awesome coach. Keep you guys updated on all that. It's gonna get dark soon, so I'm gonna finish my workout and I'll catch you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, so I'm about to head to the gym and do a leg session. First, I'm gonna take my pre-workout. So I have Enter with Purpose, iced tea flavor. This is my current pre-workout. I cycle through a lot of different pre-workouts, but this is just what I'm on right now. It's probably one of my favorites, to be honest. It hits the hardest out of most of the other ones I use, and especially for leg day. So I'm gonna use this now, and then I'm gonna get to the gym. So in my pre-workout shake, or I guess drink, there's a few things I put in besides the pre-workout. So I have the pre-workout. I also take glutamine to prevent muscle breakdown and help with recovery. And I take creatine monohydrate as well. I usually take those 3 together, probably about 15 to 30 minutes before training. So I'm gonna get that in real quick and then I'm gonna head over. So I'm sure, as you guys know, there's a lot of different companies out there that make different supplements. I just happen to use, like I said, Enter with Purpose, iced tea flavor. It's my favorite pre-workout I've had so far. It tastes the best, it kicks the hardest. So that's, for me, the best option. Glutamine, a lot of different companies make glutamine. I happen to use First Form. I really like First Form for a lot of products. I think they're really high quality. They deliver a premium product, but you also pay more for them. But glutamine is pretty cheap in general, so it's not gonna be anything too crazy. But I just like First Forms. I actually got flavorless. I think you can add flavor if you want to, but I like the one without flavor. That way it gives me more versatility, so I can put it in pre-workout or post-workout shakes, and then go from there. Creatine monohydrate, this looks really sketchy because I took the label off. I think I got this from GNC, but again, you can buy this pretty much anywhere. But between those 3, that's what I take in my pre-workout shake, like I mentioned. Let me get this down quick, and we're gonna head out. Oh, that stings a little bit. This is a little pre-workout hack for you guys. A lot of you probably know this and it's kind of common sense, but if the pre-workout's really strong for you guys or you don't like the taste or you can't find a taste that you like, dilute it in water and it's gonna be a lot less strong, a lot less potent, but you'll still get that effectiveness of the full scoop of the pre-workout. So a little tip for you guys. I do that a lot, especially with strong pre-workouts like the Enter With Purpose that I have here. Thankfully, I like the flavor, but sometimes it's a little strong, especially early in the mornings. So I end up diluting it more than I usually would. So for this workout, guys, I started off with doing the leg press. Usually for legs, I usually start with the barbell back squat. Since I haven't done that in a while, I went to the leg press, which is kind of my second favorite machine to go to when I'm training legs. This session in general was kind of geared towards power and strength, so I kept the reps on the lower end and the weight was a little bit higher than what I usually do. So like I said, I was shooting for about 8 to 12 reps. Got in there for most of the sets, but obviously there's some that I got less or more based on how I was feeling, especially some of the last sets that I did. I usually start my workouts, not just for legs, but for any workout where I'm trying to go for strength and power. I start with the big compound movements first, which would be the barbell back squat or the leg press like I'm doing here. And then I kind of move on to accessory exercises to work specific muscle groups and kind of isolate those so I can burn out, as you could say. When doing the leg press, usually I go for the angled leg press with the plates that are loaded on top. This one's a little bit different, and I think it's actually a little bit easier, at least for me. But I think the other one was taken during the time I'm at the gym. The gym I go to, this certain gym is always crowded, which is kind of frustrating because a lot of the machines are usually taken, but I kind of go for what's open at that time. I don't want to wait around too long, but if I see something open that I want to do, I'll go ahead and take that, and then I'll kind of swing back to the other exercises and the routine that I was doing. So I do have some flexibility in there, but I try to stick to the routine as best as I can. Next up, moved on to the angled leg press, which was then open during this time, so I hopped on this one. Again, going pretty heavy, trying to go down as far as I can to get that full range of motion. I think it's a balance when you're going super heavy between range of motion and moving a lot of weight. If your range of motion is really cut off and you're not getting your knees back towards your chest far enough, you're not getting the most out of the motion and not tearing the muscle tissue as good as you could be. But then again, if you have full range of motion and you're not going heavy enough, for me it's a balance. And when I say that, I don't mean to compromise form, but I mean, pushing your body to the limits with the weight, but also making sure, you're getting the best range of motion that you can to make sure you're getting the most out of the movement. One thing I've started to do is stretch pretty much every morning, just for like 5 or 10 minutes, and it's not even targeted towards the legs. It's kind of just the major joints and the areas that are usually tight for me, like the hip flexors and things like that. And I've noticed that's actually been helping a little bit with not necessarily the strength of my legs, but just the range of motion and overall performance that I have in the gym. So doing even like small stretches for like 5 or 10 minutes a day has made a huge difference, and I kind of recommend that. I don't kind of recommend that. I do recommend that for people because it, like I said, it makes a big difference over time. I'm not stretching for 4 hours a day, but I'm also not neglecting my body and letting everything getting tight. Either way, whatever you guys do for stretching, I think it's very important to stretch, not only just for flexibility, but just for overall performance in the gym. So next year I moved on to the hamstring curl machine. The hamstrings are something that I feel like are under-engaged, at least for me, in my leg routines. And I think a lot of that is attributed to the fact that not a lot of the exercises I do isolate and engage the hamstrings. I do get that when I do leg presses and other things like that. The hamstrings are engaged when you do leg presses and squats and whatnot, but isolating them with a specific exercise has helped me a lot with growing these. So like I said, I really try to prioritize the hamstrings, and I make sure I add the hamstring curls either seated or lying in my leg routine pretty much every session. The quads get engaged a lot during squatting and leg press and stuff like that. I just noticed that the hamstrings, at least for me, have just kind of been lacking in terms of not just soreness, but just strength and everything like that. So like I said, I add these a lot. I just don't do them first just because, like I mentioned earlier, I try to get those compound movements out of the way. Glutes is another thing for me. they don't seem to get targeted as much during my normal compound movements. So I like adding different exercises for those as well, like hip thrusters. I didn't do that in this exercise, but I do like to do those a lot for glutes. Next, move on to calves. So I don't know anyone who ever starts a leg workout with calves. I'm sure there's people that do that. These are usually a finisher for me. Smaller muscle group takes less energy, but man, do they hurt if you do them right. This is probably my favorite machine to do calf raises and engage the calves with. You can just do standing dumbbell, heel raises. I like these because they're specifically made for the motion, and you can drop your heels down past level, so you can get a full range of motion, which also helps engage them even more. After this session, I went on to do some posing. Actually, this wasn't even the same day. This was a little bit later. This was the first start to me posing, getting ready for show day. I'm gonna be hiring a coach. I'll mention all of that later. Right now, it's just getting, not even the muscle memory, but just getting comfortable with posing in general. It was such a taboo thing for me before learning about competing. I worked out, a lot of my life, but competing is a whole separate animal. And posing for me, at least these first couple sessions, is just getting comfortable. It's not trying to perfect every angle. It's more so just what feels right, getting confident with my shirt off, posing, which sounds weird, but it's just new, and it's something that I'm trying to learn. So again, something that's gonna come with time, little by little, each day, chipping away, trying different angles, engaging my obliques and my core different ways, having my hands on my hips, having my hands down. That's it, guys. That's gonna do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. You need to do everything that you can do every single day to get where you want to be, no matter what.
Come on. Good. Come on.